when it comes to governance, we need to look at, it's about the capacity of organizations to purposefully direct an organization to its vision. What is our vision as individual organizations? What is our mission? What are our core values? What is our goal? Do we have the capacity to say? Because at times you can visit an organization and they say, our vision is ABCD. But if you look at them as an organization, they don't look like they have that. It is an organization with no board. It is an organization with no staffing who have the capacity. It is an organization with no policies. The constitution looks like it was made in 1920 for a women village savings group, merry-go-round kind of a thing. So do they have that capacity to achieve whatever they have put in place? So we are looking at, number one, are we compliant when it comes to the laws and regulations governing our operations and even our interventions within our community? So we are looking at, do you have the certificate of registration? If you're operating as a national non-government organization, you're operating as a trust, as a foundation, as a community-based organization, as a faith-based organization, do you have the right documentation based on your identity? So don't say you're an NGO, yet you're a CBO, or you're not a CBO, but operating at the scale or magnitude of an NGO. So do we have the correct registration? Is it up to date? Or this is a license that was acquired in 2020 and we're in 2025 with no renewed or updated license or certificate? Do we submit our annual reports, both program and financial reports to the government? Do they know what we are doing? Can they audit our operations? And this means that if a donor comes in, they want to see your license or certificate is valid. They want to see that you have audited reports that you have submitted to the relevant government agency. So that means this government knows where you are. The government can track your operations. The government knows what you are doing. Like you are in sync or compliant with the law. Do you make the remittances? Yes, you can be a non-profit organization, but you still have your tax obligation. Or maybe it can be about the pay, it can be the withholding tax. Are we making those remittances? If it's about our employees, do we pay for them the relevant statutory deductions to the government? Are we able to comply with the regulations that govern business operations within our country? Yes, we're a non-profit, but we have for-profit activities. Are we complying with that? Because if not, some donors will pull away because they feel like, no, I don't think these are straightforward people. They're looking at effective oversight. Do we have an advisory board, or do we have a board of management? Do we have, what is the apex of leadership within our organization? Are they providing the right direction to the staffing within the organization, the management or the operations staff within the organization? Is it the community, is the community playing an oversight role to see what we are doing? Are we accountable to our stakeholders? When we do resource mobilization, when we receive grants from donors, do we publicize our annual reports? Like, this is what we have received, this is what we have spent on, this is what is remaining, this is what shall be done with the remaining funds. Have we stuck to the budget? Are we accountable to our stakeholders? And when we have changed things midway, do we go back to consult them when we think that whatever path we had chosen is not working? These are things that that donors will want to see. Do we have minutes of these meetings that we have as a board? Do we have minutes of what we do as an organization within our regular staff meetings? Do we have reports of our stakeholders' engagement, clearly documenting what message we went with them, what were their concerns, how they were addressed, and if there were issues that needed to be addressed, what was the time lapse? Did we stick to the time? Do we have photos that can show that indeed we did those meetings? When it comes to management, I don't know, you want to see, do we have the strategic framework as an organization? Do we have a strategic framework? Is it active? Does it align? Because at times you can go to an organization, they present you a very strong, a very good, a very promising strategic framework. But if you go down to what they're doing every day, there is nothing that is building towards the strategic framework. They're saying that when it comes to documentation, we'll ensure that we have a document management policy. They might be having it, but they are not doing anything towards actualizing the policy. They can say, maybe by this time we want to have digitized our record keeping or our documentation, but there is no effort, not even a simple Google Drive backup of the documents. Nothing happens in digitalization. So it's about, do they have a strategic framework? Is the strategic framework alive? Is it active? Is it being reviewed? Is it being implemented? Are the people within the organization aware? Because a strategic framework is not just a document in the shell. There are people who are supposed to be implementing it. Is your administrative staff, is your manager, is your head of programs, is your volunteer aware of the strategic framework? Do they know where you want to be in 5 years, in 3 years as an organization? What is your organogram as an organization? Do your staff know how they fit into the organogram of the organization? Does the board, does the management understand how it fits into the organogram? Do we have a policy for the management of the board, like the members of the board? What are the control measures so that we do not have excesses from the members of the board when there is conflict of interest, when they're involved in terror financing issues, and they're involved in money laundering issues, when they're involved in fraud and any other maybe criminal issues? Do we have a policy that says what happens to such people? What happens when there is a conflict of? Do we have a code of conduct of how the management relates to the workers? I don't know, it's very keen to see that, because maybe you do not have a code of conduct for the managers, and so the junior employees within the organization are harassed, and some donors are very keen, they don't want to be part of any form of discrimination, because they have a binding policy. What are the standard operating procedures for different things, for requesting money, for maybe conducting an AGM, conducting quarterly meetings, monthly meetings? What are the standard operating procedures for making a requisition for financial use? What are there? Do we have clear-cut guidelines on what happens after what needs to be done? So all these are things that donors are very interested in when it comes to governance. Our accountability, the reports. Do we have audited financial accounts? Is it a trusted auditor? Do we submit our audited reports to the government or to the relevant government agency? Do we have board papers, like when boards are meeting? What is guiding their meetings? What shall be discussed? How do they conduct their business? All this. What are the correspondences between board and staff, between board and donors, between board and government? All these they want to see. And so what is a self-regulation framework as an organization or as organizations? They also want to see, do you communicate to your stakeholders? Do they have a voice? Do your beneficiaries have a voice to what you are doing? Can they contribute? Does their voice, it is not just about you going to tell them this is what you want to do. Is there evidence that a donor can see that your communities were able to contribute to the design and implementation, review, and learning of our programs? All these are things that are very important to, or are very crucial when it comes to donors. Beyond governance, we go further into program management.